We begin with the breaking news. This hour, 3 people have been killed in a shooting at a restaurant in Sandton.
3 people have been shot dead and 4 others wounded at a restaurant in Sandton in Johannesburg.
On the shooting in Sandton that took place last night, Gauteng police now investigating a case of murder and attempted murder following that incident that claimed the lives of 3 people. 4 others were wounded.
Imagine you're chilling at Solo restaurant, savoring your favorite steak, enjoying the ambience with a fork and knife, full view of the situation. A second later, you're ducking under the table with your food on the floor, like you're in a rush hour movie. The night was alive in Sandton. Solo restaurant pulsed with energy, a place where the city's elite gathered under the warm glow of chandeliers. Laughter filled the air, mixing with the clinking of wine glasses and the hum of conversation. Waiters weaved through tables, balancing silver trays with effortless grace. It was a night like any other. On the evening of March 6th, 2025, Solo restaurant in Sandton, Johannesburg, was bustling with patrons enjoying their meals. The upscale venue, known for its ambiance and cuisine, maintained a strict no-firearm policy to ensure the safety of its guests. Businessman Siphamandla Mabonga, accompanied by his bodyguards, arrived at the restaurant. Upon attempting to enter, he was informed by security about the establishment's no-gun rule. An argument ensued, escalating rapidly. According to reports, a shootout erupted between Mabonga's entourage and the restaurant's security personnel, resulting in the deaths of 3 persons. If this can happen in Sandton, where is safe? How many others like him are out there? How do you stop men who believe they are untouchable? This incident has raised concerns about safety in Sandton and the enforcement of firearm policies in public venues. Authorities are investigating the circumstances leading up to the shooting, aiming to prevent such tragedies in the future. A simple rule, one that every guest followed, but Mabonga wasn't every guest. He stopped, tilting his head slightly, as if he hadn't heard correctly. His lips curved into a slow, knowing smirk. At the entrance, he asked the security, "Do you know who I am?" The guard met his gaze without flinching. He knew exactly who he was, and that was why he wasn't stepping aside. "I don't care who you are," the guard said. "Rules are rules." The air shifted. The bodyguards tensed. The doorman's grip on the rope barrier tightened. Then, Mabonga moved, a sharp gesture, a hand disappearing into a jacket, a flash of metal, and then the gunfire began. The first shot ripped through the night like a lightning strike. The second followed, then the third. Chaos erupted. Screams shattered the elegance of Solo. Glass exploded as bullets tore through windows, sending shards flying like tiny daggers. A woman ducked, her hands flying to her ears as a bullet shattered the wine bottle in front of her. Red liquid spilled across the table, mixing with something far darker. Guests dived for cover. A man knocked over a chair as he threw himself to the ground, shielding his wife. A waiter dropped his tray, the plates shattering on the marble floor. Outside, the gunfight raged, a brutal, merciless exchange of fire. Mabonga fired. Security fired back. His bodyguards reached for their weapons, but they were too slow. A bullet found its mark. Then another. And then, it was over. The silence that followed was deafening. The acrid smell of gunpowder hung in the air. 3 bodies lay still on the pavement. Mabonga, his 2 bodyguards. Blood pooled beneath them, seeping into the cracks of the sidewalk, painting a story that no one would soon forget. Inside the restaurant, 4 others groaned in pain, wounded but alive. Blue and red lights flashed against the shattered glass as police and paramedics swarmed the scene. Officers stepped over broken chairs, past abandoned meals, their eyes scanning the devastation. Journalists arrived within minutes, their cameras capturing the horror, their voices urgent. The headlines would write themselves. A powerful man, a deadly night. a question that demanded answers. Why was Siphamandla Mabonga, a man with a history of violence, even walking free? Just over a year ago, he had been involved in another shooting at an entertainment venue. He had been charged with attempted murder. He had been arrested. But somehow, he had been released. In January 2024, businessman Siphamandla Mabonga was involved in a shooting incident at Tempo Luxury Restaurant in Sunninghill, Johannesburg. The altercation began when Mabonga attempted to enter the venue with his armed bodyguards, leading to a confrontation with the establishment's security personnel. The situation escalated into a shootout, resulting in injuries to at least 3 individuals, including Mabonga and 2 staff members. Following this incident, Mabonga was arrested and charged with attempted murder. Despite the severity of the charges, he was released on bail pending trial. National Police Commissioner Fanny Masemola acknowledged that Mabonga had been out on bail for similar cases of attempted murder in entertainment venues. Masemola emphasized that while law enforcement agencies strive to oppose bail for such individuals, the final decision rests with the judiciary. This pattern of behavior culminated in the tragic events of March 6, 2025, at Solo Restaurant in Sandton. Mabonga's attempt to forcibly enter the establishment with his armed entourage led to a deadly shootout, claiming his life and those of his 2 bodyguards. This incident has intensified discussions about the effectiveness of the bail system and the challenges faced by law enforcement in preventing repeat offenses by individuals with violent histories. And now, he was dead. The whispers began before the bodies were even covered. If this can happen in Sandton, where is safe? How many others like him are out there? How do you stop men who believe they are untouchable? People spoke in hushed voices. Guests glanced at the entrance a little longer. Security checked a little closer. Waiters flinched at loud noises. Because now they knew. No matter the wealth, no matter the status, no matter the connections, when the bullets start flying, no one is untouchable. The Solo Restaurant shooting was not just an isolated incident. It was the culmination of a pattern. A man with a violent history out on bail despite serious charges once again found himself at the center of a deadly confrontation. This tragedy has reignited urgent discussions about South Africa's criminal justice system, raising critical questions. Why was Siphamandla Mabonga free despite his past involvement in violent crimes? How did he manage to evade justice multiple times? What changes need to be made to prevent similar incidents from happening again? For many, this is not just about one man. It's about a flawed system that allows dangerous individuals to walk free while innocent people pay the price. The victims of the Solo Restaurant shooting were not only those who died, but also those who survived with scars, both physical and emotional. The streets of Sandton, once seen as a symbol of prestige and security, now carry a chilling reminder. Money and power can delay justice, but they cannot escape it forever. Thank you for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comment below. See you in our next video.